Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum guys. Today I will show you a PR system that I built, which is the partner referral management system that I built. So basically, what is the problem? So the problem I'm actually solving here is that when a partner gets approved, there are a lot of manual steps that easily fall through, and also there are some part of the manual step that also go wrong. So part of it is from activating the partner and getting them onboarded and following up when they have registered a deal. And also you want to make sure that the team are able to respond quickly to when they also register a particular deal. So instead of managing all of that in a manual way, I built a 3 native HubSpot workflow to handle each of these stage. So I'm going to be showing us the first workflow of this stage, so which is the activation partner. So we are going to be, so when a partner has been activated, and also I'm going to be showing us how it interacts with the Anyten workflow. So the Anyten is more like the orchestration that deals with the orchestration, while the HubSpot handles the part of where the data changes, moving from different stages. So here I'm going to, so basically we have 4 objects that we are working on. We are going to be working with, we have the contact, we have the company, we have the deals, and we also have the ticket. So we are going to be working with the ticket in line with the company and also with the contact. So we have the custom property created, which I've explained in my last video. If you check my YouTube, my last YouTube page, channel, that I create the video of how to create a custom property on HubSpot. So once we do that, I'm going to link the company with our ticket and also the contact. So let's go with this ticket here. So before I do that, let me go to my Anyten and explain how this first Anyten orchestration build is going to work. So basically, when a partner wants to partner with the company, so here we have our form, the Anyten form trigger. So it's going to trigger and the partner is going to register their details. We have our normalized application, which is going to take in the data that comes in from the Anyten trigger. Then we have our search company HTTP, so it's going to search if that particular company exists. Here we can decide to use the Anyten native node, or can use the HTTP request, and here it's going to check if the company already exists, and it's going to post that to the company, to the Slack, if it exists. And if not, we are creating a company with that details that we're receiving from the Anyten from trigger, and we are creating a contact from that, and also we are also creating an onboarding ticket for that particular company that want to partner. And after that, we are checking if the application is complete. So for application to be complete, it have to have a complete, which is true, and we send a new application to the partner ops. And if not, we are sending an incomplete application. So we are going to see how we are going to work with that, and let's go. So let me go to my Anyten and my HubSpot. So I'm going to go to my HubSpot. So I'm going to work with this partner here. So I've seeded some data into the object on HubSpot, but I'm still going to show us how this data is going to come in from the Anyten orchestration workflow. So here we have our partner. So I'm going to click on this Vantage people. So I'm going to click on add company. So I'm going to say Vantage. So I'm adding this. So I'm going to save. So I automatically add that, and I'm going to add contact. So the contact I'm going to add is Renant Vance, which is the name of the company. So I'm going to add this to existing company. So now I've been able to add the contact and also the company. So basically this is on HubSpot, but I'm going to also show us, like I said, on anything. So once I do that, now we are going to go to our workflow. So basically what does this workflow is going to be doing is when a partner is activated, it's going to it's going to edit some field, and I'm going to explain how that works. So what does this does in a simple way? When someone is approved as a partner, then it activates other details. So here, the first is once a partner has been approved, it's going to check the status of that partner. So if it isn't activated, it's going to come to this, but if that particular partner has already been activated, it's going to go to this branch and it's going to end that particular workflow. So if it does not, it's going to go through, it's going to update the partner status, update the partner tier, the partner since, which is the date it was updated, and also the partner type. So here the partner type is going to check for the type of partner type, because we have different partner types and different commission. So once it does that, it's going to check different partner type, and then it's going to set their commission rates based on their partner type. Then it's going to send a welcome email and the activation confirmed email to the partner, and then create an onboarding task for that particular partner, and then it's assigned to the partner manager. Then it's going to activate that particular ticket. After moving it to approved, it's going to change it to activated, which means that is the end of the stage of that particular ticket. So here is that workflow that is going to do that. And one of the interesting parts of this is so here is a ticket-based workflow. That means you are starting from the ticket object and it's going to update. So there is something called cross-object updating. So cross-object automation is whereby you update the ticket object, and it's going to update the associated object with that ticket. So which means once we are updating this particular ticket to approved, we are updating other associated objects, which is the company part, which is why it's called cross-object automation. And which means you don't actually need anything for you to do that. And that's one of the most interesting parts of what HubSpot gives us. And yeah, so let's now try to approve a particular partner and you see how it's going to execute. Now I'm going to turn this on. So because it's actually off, I'm going to turn it on review, and so once I reviewed it, it's still loading. So I'm going to say no, I don't want to, so until I approve that. So I'm going to next, and then I'm going to turn on this particular. So I've turned on the workflow. So I'm going to go to so here we have, our ticket, and so I'm going to update this, and we see how it's going to update the company data, which is the cross-object automation that I explained that is interesting from it. So this is the company is going to update. It's going to update the partner since, the partner tier, the scene, and the commission rate. So I'm going to go that now. So let's update this. So I'm going to update it to approve. So once I update it to approve, so it's execute and we go. So we should see how this is going to update. You can see it updates, and it updates this as well. So basically that is the cross-object automation that HubSpot gives us. So you can be able to use HubSpot to do your native workflow automation without anything. So you can see now our status has been updated to active, the other properties, HubSpot, and now let's go to our anything. So I'm going to publish. So we want to add new data to our anything and see how it's going to communicate with the HubSpot workflow. So now let me execute this. So I'm going to create a company name. Let me use Larkspur people.co, and I will say Iris Larkspur, and then the email will be iris@larkspurpeople.com, and I'm going to say HR consultant, and what is the website? larkspurpeople.com, and should be already advised 30 SMB clients on payroll, and we want a referral part. So once this is activated, it's going to execute our data, and we see how it's going to be. So I'm going to, let me go to this place, because here it should be applied, because that is the value that the data is expecting, and not capital letter applied. So I think having any issue, so I'm going to, so once I run that now, so it's still rolling, and I'm going to submit the data. So once I submit the data, it's giving us the error again. So what could it be? It's happening. Blind. Blind and partner type, HR consultant. So let me just pin this data and let's execute it again. Okay, you can see it execute now, and now it's creating the contact company. Now it's creating the ticket for us. Then you see, okay, success. Okay, it's an error. So what could be the error? You see the app hasn't been granted all scopes. So here is the reason why this is not working. It's saying the apps hasn't been granted all the required scope to make this call. So we are going to update that, or let's go. So we go to the HubSpot to update that. So here we are in the HubSpot now. So to resolve this, we are going to go to our settings. Then we go to the service key. So we can use service key, we can also use private apps. So I just decided to use this service key as the beta stage, just to test some things out. So I'm going to go to my service key details. So these are the scopes that I have already, and it is still complaining that I need some required scopes. So a scope that I probably need should be tickets, so that I can be able to create tickets. So I'm going to edit and add scope. So I'm going to create tickets. So once I check that, I'm going to update and save. So once we save that, we have our tickets, and let's go back to our workflow. So I'm just going to execute only this section. So I'm going to execute it now. So it's still showing. So now you can see we are in the success branch, so we are able to create our ticket, and I'm going to join this back. So I'm going to execute this as well. Now you can see it goes to the true branch, which means we should get a Slack message. So I'm going to execute this as well. So if we go to So it's executing the Slack node. Really should not in the channel partner ops. So let's see. Okay, so I think I've not invited what is expected to invite. Let me do invite someone. So I'm going to say anything. So guess that is why the issue is coming up. So I just invite that. So we are going to execute this node now. So you can see it's now execute, and you can see our message that says new partner application, the name, the partner type, the contact, and the status is under review. So basically, this is how, when a new partner is trying to become a partner with the company, and then if we go to our tickets, we should be able to see the new data. So here, this is the new data that we sent from anything. And if we go to the companies, you should see the company associated to that ticket, to the partner associated with that ticket, which is the company, which is here, Larkspur, and it says just applied. And we should see the contact as well, which is Irish, and so it's loading. So here we have our contact, which is Irish Larkspur. So basically, this is how this flow works for this particular phase. We have our HubSpot native workflow, and we have our anything orchestration that takes in the data, and HubSpot decide how each of these workflow executes based on the behavior and activities of individual. So thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one. Please like, subscribe, and share, and let's discuss. Tell me what you want to build, and we can discuss the solution together, and I'll be able to provide you with things you need and also help you build any automation you want. Bye, and thank you.